All right, guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be making a oval shaped typography logo design, right, with some texture. So this is actually what we're going to be making, right? I don't know, there somewhere. So let's get into that right now. All right. So today we're going to learn how to make this vintage oval logo design. It's a typographic logo. This is all stuff that we've done before. Just kind of want to hit it again just for the sake of time and for the sake of practice, right? So let's go ahead and jump into Illustrator here. All right, I'm going to be on just an HD canvas, right? 1920 by 1080. So that way we can kind of work with this. All right. So first things first, okay, is we want to turn off our fill. Okay, we want to just have our stroke here, right? Make sure that it's there at the back. We're going to take our ellipse tool and we're going to create an oval. Okay, nothing specific. Just know that you are going to make multiple copies of this, so you don't want to go too big. Okay. All right. So we'll take our oval and we're going to make a few copies of this, right? We're going to go to path, offset path, and I'm going to go up to about 20. I'll go 15. Okay. I'm going to go make sure that it's on round, and your miter should be around 4. Okay. So, click OK. All right. Now, while that one was already selected, we're going to go back to path, offset path. We're going to do that. Okay. Then we're going to go one more time, path, offset path, but this last one we're going to make a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. So you should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? With the fourth one being a little bit wider than the other 3. Okay. All right. So now we need to take our text. Okay. Figure out what we're going to use here. I am going to type in my name. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that this font is something bold. I tried this font earlier. I didn't really care for it. So guess what? Your boy's going to stick with simple old Impact. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to arrange. I'm going to send to back. Okay. I need to make sure that this is all the way to the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my text. I am going to take my first circle here. I'm going to hold shift, take my first circle and select it. I'm going to go to object, envelope distort, and make with top object. Bam. Okay. Now, this doesn't look too good because of the shaping and all that stuff, but that's okay, right? We're going to kind of work with this. If you have a big gap between these two letters here, right, between your first word and your second word, right, if you do 2 words, if you double click on this, okay, and then you put your cursor here, you hold the Alt key, and then you hold the left key down, maybe 1, 2, 3, let's go 4. Okay, I like that. Okay, here's the trick, right? Escape, escape. Okay. All right. So there, I like that a little bit better. I still really don't care for these edges, but it is what it is. Okay. All right. So now we're going to take this. We're going to hit object. We're going to hit expand. Okay. And then we're going to go object, path, offset path. But this one, we're going to go inwards. Okay. So we're only going to go maybe, let's go about 5, -5-ish, right? Depending on your letters, right? You can kind of play around with this. Then you're going to hit OK. All right. Now what you're going to do is you're going to unclick. You're going to click back on your lettering, and you are going to hit ungroup all. Okay. So now this is where it gets a little bit tedious, right? So if you need to zoom in here, that's okay. All right. So what you need to do now is you need to select the outer part of the letter, right? So not the inner part, the outer part of the letter, and you're going to get rid of it. Okay. You're probably thinking, like, why the heck are we doing this? Hey, just trust the process, okay? Nope, did the wrong one. All right, you'll do this for each and every letter. Now, we could have done this a different way, but this way is the easiest for most people to kind of understand. Okay, all right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select all my letters again. And make sure that you hold Shift, Control G to group them together. Now I'm going to find my smooth tool. Okay, so right where the shaper tool is, I'm going to find my smooth tool, and I'm going to smooth this out just a little bit, maybe 20 for me. Could be different for you depending on kind of what you do here. Okay. If you feel like it didn't do anything, just go Object, Expand, and then try it again. You'll see now, you'll see some effects to it. I'm going to go about 25. Okay. All right. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our first and our second circle. Okay. So we'll take our first and our second circle there. We're going to reverse the fill here. Hit Shift M, holding Alt. Okay, we are going to get rid of this layer. Okay, bang. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my letters and I'm gonna select this black layer. Okay. I'm gonna change the color. I'm gonna change it to white for this right now. And then I'm gonna take my outer layer and I'm gonna switch the fill and the stroke to give us this boom. Oh, ow, hurt my finger. Give us this nice text effect. Okay. Again, you can make this any color you want, right? If you want these to be a different color. What I really would hope is that you guys don't just pick something straight out of here, right? You'll kind of need to go here to start, right? But then you can come here and find something a little bit different that'll kind of, I don't know. I just don't want you guys to just go straight off of that, right? So you'll have that, then you can select your other circle, hit I. There you go. And I also don't really care for flat black either. I would maybe go like a 14-14, even 26-26 I think is kind of more of my love here, but even like a 30-30 or 30-30-30, right, for that black. It just gives it, it's just not so black. It gives it a little bit more vintage look to it. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a background and we're going to add some texture, right? So first we'll do the background. I'm going to pull this back here. And I am going to send to back, right? But first I need to find a different color for it, right? So something that'll kind of match your text there. I'm going to go with something like this that I like. And then I'm going to lock my layer. Okay, my background layer, so I don't mess with any of that stuff, right? Now let's see if I remember how to do this part. Okay, I kind of have some trouble with it sometimes. All right, we cannot continue on with the video without thanking our sponsor for today. Let's go ahead and check it out at Del Toro Films on Instagram. If you need graduation pictures, which you will probably next year, if you need pictures for anything, if you just want to look cool on Instagram, get with Angel Del Toro with Del Toro Films, and he will hook you up. I promise you that. I taught him everything that he knows. Not really, but I will take credit for it anyway. So hit up Del Toro Films if that is something that you want to do. Thank you to today's sponsor. You now owe me $100, and let's continue on with the video. Okay, so now that we have our image done, right, we're going to add a texture to it, right? Just again to give it some kind of a vintage look. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our transparency panel here. So if you don't have it, you'll see it here in a little bit. But even before that, we need to go to the internet, right? And we need to find a texture overlay that we like. Okay. Try to find something that's high resolution, right? So you want to make sure that it's got some pretty decent numbers here, right? Again, your canvas size is 1920 by 1080. If you can find something that size, that would be amazing. But the closer you get to that, the better, right? Again, you can come up here once you start looking at your texture overlay at images. If you go to tools, you can go to size, you can go to large, right? And it'll only give you stuff that's nice and big. Again, you want this to be black and white as much as it can be, right? So I'm going to like this one. I'm going to take this. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to go to Illustrator. I'm going to hit paste. And I'm going to drag this off the artboard for now. Okay. All right. So let me zoom in here just a little bit. Okay. So make sure that your item is grouped together. That way everything is together, right? So if you don't know for sure, right, just select it all and group it. So in your transparency panel, right, mine is right here. If you don't see yours, just window, transparency. Once you have your item selected, you're going to come right here to make mask, right? Again, this is stuff we've done before. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to copy this, right? Then you're going to select, go back to selecting this, click on this black box and hit the letter V. Okay. You're going to paste in that mask, right? Then what you can do is adjust the size to fit your design. So something like this, right? And then that is that. You can take this, yep, and you are done. Okay, that is this portion of the assignment. If you have any questions, please let me know, and we will help you out as much as we can. But other than that, have a good day. We'll see y'all later, and peace.